Hi, welcome to Film Stash. My name is Douglas Campbell. Sorry, I've been away for a couple weeks of a tiny thing. You know, no big deal. But now I'm back. So what'd I miss? Oh no. Oh my god.
They want this!
Oh my god! At the time of this recording, one of the biggest film discussions right now is how internet personalities are gradually making their way into Hollywood productions. This isn't a new subject on the channel. We've talked about how Raka Raka gone to A24, how Chris Stuckman released his film, you can see it right here. We've talked about with Markiplier and his immense success with Iron Lung, you can also see it over here. And now the latest conversation is with Curry Barker and his film Obsession, and the subject of today's video, Kane Parsons, with his film Backrooms. The film follows a furniture store owner, Clark, played by Chiwetel Ejiofor, and his therapist, Mary, played by Renate Reinsve, discover a dimension of seemingly endless liminal spaces beneath this store. But while exploring it, they realize something else may be lurking inside. There's a lot about the journey leading up to this film that really interests me. When he was 17 years old, Kane Parsons, he discovered a 4chan post that was posted on Instagram about an ominous yellow room. A creepypasta that made its way around the internet for a while, called Backrooms. And so using this bare bones creepy premise, Parsons, he took the skills they learned from Blender and he created the first Backrooms episode and he uploaded it to YouTube in 2022. It didn't take too long before it went extremely viral, and it took even less time before James Wan, a co-creator of Saw, he reached out to him to talk about adapting this concept into a feature-length film. Like, this kid got a movie deal when he was like a late teenager. Like, that's crazy. And so fast forward to 2026, he's like in his early 20s, and he has a major motion picture that's out right now that's one of A24's like highest grossing films. The film itself, like, it is very weird. This is not going to be a film for everybody because it is just such a bizarre horror film. But the thing about it is, like, unlike Iron Lung, where I kind of had a hard time getting into it, but the lore was kind of interesting, the lore with this, like, interested me, like, almost immediately. After I saw it, like, I immediately, like, dived in watching a couple of his videos. I just wanted to see how Parsons took his work that he put on YouTube and just like morphed it into a brand new medium. And after sitting with it, I'm of two minds. On one hand, this is like one of the most unique horror settings that I've seen in like a long time. The endless yellow liminal space, it's like instantly iconic and creepy already. A basic empty room with like a bunch of fluorescent lights. People are gonna think of the Backrooms now. Because how it's executed in the film, it's deeply unsettling. The constant shadows, the hum of fluorescent lights, the feeling that something could be lurking in any shadow or any corner of the room, and you're expecting a jump scare, but you don't get a jump scare. You are just constantly tense. It activates like this primal fear that like all of us have that just we don't really think about anymore because we're not constantly in danger. And it's a feeling that, at least for me, it didn't really go away until the credits rolled. And this is why I don't do basements. Sorry, can't do it. And so in that sense, I think Parsons succeeded in adapting his work to the big screen. On the other hand, I'm not sure that the utilization of traditional like movie characters really benefited the adaptation of the YouTube videos to the big screen. What made the original videos like so compelling, if you haven't seen it, I'll include a playlist like in the link below. What makes it so compelling is the mystery and the world building around these mysterious rooms in this other dimension. But you don't really get many answers. You especially get most of the view of this world from these guys in hazmat suits through first-person POV. And whenever I watched the movie, like not really doing any of the research before, but just like watching the movie on the big screen, the opening, which was in that same POV style I later learned, and like in the middle when they use a similar POV style, those were easily the sections that I was the most into the movie because it felt real. It felt the most real. It just pulled me in. Once that initial POV ends and we go right to the main characters, I kind of got pulled out immediately. Oh, right. I'm just watching a movie. Now, don't get me wrong, like, the performances are really solid. Like, the movie is decent, but the characters themselves, like, they're fairly basic. Here's like a slight little spoiler ahead, like some of the things I might discuss would be considered spoilers. I highly would recommend you check it out. It's like really weird. It's very obvious that Parsons and the writer, at least approaching this world for this iteration of the film, they definitely are trying to use the back room as sort of like a metaphorical dive into the characters' minds. It's kind of akin to Alice in Wonderland and The Wizard of Oz. A bit more fucked up, although you've read both books, I mean, they're both kind of fucked up in their own way. Whenever Clark like makes his way into the back rooms and stays there for a while, he is confronted with a warped reality of who he has become in the real world. A guy who chooses work over his own family, has malicious feelings towards his ex-wife. Now with Mary's journey into the back rooms, like her journey and basically just the whole setting itself, it is used as more of a backdrop for Mary to confront her childhood trauma and agoraphobia. And I think like these characters' journeys and the way that they eventually are confronted with themselves, I just think it's okay. I don't think the film really digs deep enough into both of them. You do get glimpses. It's very obvious with Clark, and I feel like you don't dig that much deeper with Mary. Ultimately, what the film is striving for is the creepy atmosphere. They are choosing atmosphere over character. Now, fortunately for them, the atmosphere that they've set up, it really works. It's really scary. I'm for it. So I can forgive them for that. Because we don't really dive that much deeper into these characters, I feel like the journey it didn't click for me. It wasn't as compelling as it could have been. I'm definitely interested in like the film analysis videos that will come out like long after this movie's release, because I would like to see how others interpreted it. I just feel like it didn't explore that much more than what was kind of presented like at the beginning. And because like those character journeys weren't as satisfying, I just feel like the film did not need to be almost 2 hours long. Oh, light went out, heads up. If Parsons and the writer, they want to take the back rooms and utilize it for deeper character exploration, I truthfully think they would have needed to spend way more time with these characters at the beginning of the movie. The film would have had to been at least over 2 hours long. Another way it could have been tackled is if like these guys just sort of get zapped into the rooms like right away. We don't really get to know who they are, and we sort of like discover who they are as they're like running away from this mysterious threat. It would be more in line with the videos. There's more questions than answers, and you're kind of figuring stuff out as we're moving along. In the end, I still would highly recommend it just for the pure nightmare aesthetic. As a horror fan, I would give this an 8 out of 10. In terms of the overall story and just how these characters are utilized with it, I would probably give it a 6.5 out of 10. Decent, but like not the best thing ever. But those are my thoughts on the back rooms. What did you guys think of it? Comment below and let me know. Just don't tell me if you found a dimensional portal in your basement. Like, I don't need that shit in my life. Thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Any help you can give my channel, I would greatly appreciate it. And if you're already subscribed to me, thank you so very much. My current goal for the end of the year is to reach 700 subscribers. So if you're able to help me out and reach that goal, I would greatly appreciate it. Well, that's all the time we have for today here on Film Stash. My name is Douglas Campbell, and if you excuse me, I'll see you in the back rooms.